Cyclone Dixie blows up in the Indian Ocean. Boom! It's blown up. And now the latest around the wide world of HypoEarth. HypoWeather Bulletin for January 31st.
It's a hurricane.
That's right, and it's Cyclone Dixie that appears to be a bit of a schism there on that imagery. And it's just trundling around in the Indian Ocean, and it's been pretty good lately. It's been rapidly intensifying, and in just 36 hours it's gotten from tropical storm status to Category 3 right now. It's 121 days until hurricane season, and look at that, nothing is active in the Atlantic. And boy, are we pleased about that. The real world is enough to give anyone a headache. Nothing there though. Nothing for Ethan to salivate over either in the Eastern Pacific, with 104 days until the hurricane season starts there. There's no Rick Astley, there's no Ethan faces, there's no nothing on the East Pac picture today. We're very happy though. In the Western Pacific there's no areas of interest either. Also pleasing. And as we move towards the Indian Ocean, there's nothing in the northern area, and in the southern part of the IO, it's Dixie, Category 3, and slowly turning towards the southwest. We've also got a 30% AOI along the coast of the Western Australian landmass, and another one with a very high latitude, or low latitude, the way you look at it, 50% along the coast of Papua New Guinea, near the border with Indonesia right now, as well. Gulf of Carpentaria, piping hot and ready and waiting for potentially that storm. Well, here's Dixie right now, a Category 3, and thankfully far away from any land areas. It's 1364 kilometers from Rodrigues, 1961 from Mauritius, 2180 from Reunion, 2232 from Isle Amsterdam, and 3512 from Kerguelen, the Kerguelen Islands. This storm only formed a couple of days ago, and we appreciate there hasn't been any bulletins for a good while. We'll show you a showcase of the storms that you may have missed in a moment. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery, and there it is right now, looking pretty decent over the very open expanse of that Indian Ocean basin, the southern part of it, very far away from any land masses and looking good. Further intensification is possible. Sea surface temperatures are still the very same as they were at the start of the month, because these graphics only update monthly. The good news is that we'll see an update tomorrow if we do a bulletin. And there is where Dixie sits above those temperatures right now, around about 27 to 28 degrees. So, this was Cyclone Dukos, which you may have missed. It was one of the strongest storms so far, 145 miles per hour, 937 millibars. That's the track it took and crossed the date line. Unfortunately, that imagery didn't show that part. Cyclone Ashley, Category 1 in the end, 80 miles per hour, died off pretty quickly as it went further south. Pressure 985 millibars. Then we had Cyclone Idel, which was a short-lived storm, but it did have Australians rowing for a little while on January 21st to 24th, 50 miles per hour, 995. Cyclone Fusi formed on the 26th and lasted only 2 days south of New Caledonia. Still got to 60 miles per hour. And Corey was the weakest of the bunch, only just getting to 40 miles per hour in that same time period. Nice! Well then, the first name on the Atlantic naming list this year in the HypoEarth is Adam. In the Eastern Pacific it's Annabelle, and in the Central Pacific we're still waiting for Anna Coney. 11 storms so far to this year's name, which is more than the real world can say for itself. In the Western Pacific, the first name of this year's list is Sandan. North Indian Ocean, it's Dima. And if you'd like to submit any jokes for our bottom bar on to the HypoEarth bulletins, get in touch. Next name in Australia is Benny. Southwest Indian Ocean, it's Ethan! Yes! And the South Pacific, it's Galoa. That's all for now.